It's a new month. Let's look at the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, we close bullish for the month, and it is more like after a higher high. Look at higher high, higher low. Sorry, high, higher low, higher high, equal low. Those on the mentorship program that knows that I care less about the wicks when it comes to market structure. Then price went on to create a new higher high. Then I hope this is a higher low. If price continues higher, my bullish target is 1.42136. That's about a 700 pip move to the upside from where price is. Welcome back, guys. You can see that on the monthly time frame, even though last week, looking at the week of this particular candle trade lower here, price eventually pushed higher and closed bullish for the week, though we're on the monthly time frame. But remember, my target on the monthly time frame remains 1.42136. All right, so going into next week, what do we expect? First of all, let's go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we've been seeing some form of weakness around here, right? Or let me circle it properly. Around here, actually, you could see two weak red candles before last week's green candles. So I'll be expecting this bullish momentum to most likely continue next week. Any interesting thing on the daily? Yes, on the daily time frame, price is kind of creating something like a bullish flag and something like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, though I'm no longer kind of a huge fan of patterns, but I just focus on market structure. All right, but these are bullish indicators. So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, how do we take advantage of this? Now, using simple market structure, from this point, price created a lower high, equal low, higher high, higher low, new higher high. So if this bearish candlestick, bearish engulfing candlestick momentum continues, I'll be expecting a pullback into this 1.34646 and 1.34541 area before price takes off. All right, remember my bullish target is all the way up, identified on the monthly time frame, if you remember, which is 1.42136. However, if price fails to come for this deeper pullback, then let's wait for price to break above the 1.35803 area, catch it on the pullback, stop loss below 1.35590 area before we take off. All right, so you've been noticing this bulls that we took on the signal group last week. We took it on the 15 minutes time frame because we execute on the 15 minutes time frame. So price came, we entered around here, somewhere around here. So price came super close to our stop loss before taking off and eventually hitting the target. All right, so that's the screenshot of the trade on your screen right there. Okay, so but remember, execution is one thing and analysis is a whole different thing entirely. So it doesn't matter how much you analyze, you just want to place profitable trades. All right, so that is that on GBP USD. The next on my list is gold. Going into next week, since price has broken above a major area of structure around here, right now, price is trading above that region. So if price fails to come for that deeper pullback, I would like to see price continue higher, and I will anticipate a pullback, then want to buy from here, which is 3,440.689. Want to buy back into the same target of 3,500. Where will our stop loss be? Stop loss will be below 3,434.45. So welcome back, guys. So on gold, you can see that the deeper pullback that I initially was looking for didn't play out. The price actually pulled back into this area and took off into the 3,500 area, which was my target from last week. All right, actually we took a loss. This was the first trade for last week. We took a loss on gold last week. We're going for 2 to 1. I waited for price to pull back into here, failed to come into our target. Forget all of this. I think I've tampered with it. It was actually a stop loss trade. And why did I even take this sell? Because you may be arguing it was a bullish market, so why take a sell in the first place? Actually, the sell came because price had hit 3,500, which if I go to the weekly time frame is an all-time high on gold. Previously, price has traded around 3,500 around April this year before selling off. Now, I was expecting a shallow pullback before price takes off, but of course, that obviously didn't happen. We took the trade and we took a loss. I just wanted to quickly take that 2-to-1 before price continues higher because I knew that gold is a bullish trending market. But I mean, if you have a rules-based strategy that guides you through all of these processes, why not? So far you see I've shown you one win on GBPUSD and one loss on gold. But anyways, let's go back to the analysis. On the 4-hour time frame, price came to our target from last week and took off and broke above there. Now going into next week, I'll put 2 lines here. Now going into next week, I'll be expecting to see price pull back into any of these areas. The first area is the 3,577.692 and 3,572.361 before price continues higher. I love 2-to-1s, you already know that. But if we fail to get a confirmation around this first buy area, then we'll be looking at this second buy area, which is around 3,532.910 and 3,525.47 before price takes off again. Going into next week on gold, I am super bullish. The next on my list is EURUSD. So EURUSD was where we would have taken our first trade last week around here. All right, remember I've shown you one win, one loss. So on Monday last week, I sent this out to the Telegram group that I was waiting for a pullback into these areas before price sells off. Okay, but we waited and waited and waited, and it happened in the midnight when I was already in bed. I wasn't awake to take the trade. Even if I was awake, I probably wouldn't have taken it because of the Asian session and because it is the first trade for the month on the Signal group. Okay, but price did come into our zone and sold off again. Now once again, before I continue, the Signal group registration is going to be closing on Wednesday next week, so if you still want to join, you can still join us. All right, we had a slow start, but we didn't lose. We obviously took 2 trades last week, as I've shown you, and so we'll be hoping for a massive winning streak going forward, all right, with our rules-based strategies. Anyways, on Wednesday also, during the morning session, there was this trading opportunity we're supposed to take on the Signal group that you guys paid for and all of that, but my attention was diverted. Something came up and I wasn't able to call the trade. You can see for yourself when we were looking at this zone. On EURUSD, this 15 minutes time frame, clearly price just created a new higher high. So can you, if price comes for a pullback, can you identify the first and second buy areas?
Yeah, okay. Let me see. The first buy area, it pulls back, is this one here. Can you see my mouse? That's the first buy area. Yes, I can
see it.
My mouse.
Okay.
And the second
then where would be the second buy?
The first one here. The second one should be here.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So that is actually the correct answer.
A few moments later.
If you want to be rigid with your confluence, you can say, hey, price has to come into that zone properly and tap on the 0.5 fib level and buy from there. So welcome back, guys. So that also played that it should have been a super fantastic week, even beyond those 2 trades that we've placed. But anyways, next week we are fully active and we are good to go. So once again, if you want to join, the link is going to be in the description of this video and the pinned comment down below. All right, let's go back to the analysis. Going into next week, guys. On the 4-hour time frame, first of all, let's look at the weekly time frame. So price is bullish. Coming to the daily time frame, price is kind of in at an area of resistance around here. Then on the 4-hour time frame, you can also see that resistance area clearly around here. So going into next week, Euro USD may even be our first trading opportunity on the signal group going into next week. I'll be expecting price to come into some areas above here. Then we'll probably take a sell. But next week, I'm actually bullish on Euro USD. So two things I'll be expecting is one, either a deeper pullback into these areas of 1.6808 and 1.6738. I'll be waiting for that pullback into here before we continue bullish, okay, into 1.18063. But if price fails to come for this deeper pullback and price decides to just take off from here, then I'll wait for price to break above 1.17396. I'll catch it on the pullback. Stop loss below 1.17250. Then our target remains the same. Okay, remember this is just analysis. Execution is quite different. I may be bullish on analysis and bearish actually on the actual trade execution. All right, so that is that on Euro USD. The next on my list is USD JPY. Price may go bearish. Now, why is that? Let's go to the monthly time frame since it's a new month on Monday, which is the first trading day of the month of September. You can see that we close with a bearish candle. So most likely price may continue bearish this month. So welcome back, guys. The initial part of last week was bullish, represented by this monthly wick up above on this green candle that I'm pointing to right now. All right, so my analysis for the month remains the same. I'd like to see a bearish month. Let's go to the weekly time frame, guys. Nothing interesting on the weekly time frame. Let's look at the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, like I said last week, we are quite in a very choppy market on this daily time frame, quite messy, right? So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, we bearish on USD JPY going into next week. Now, two areas I will want to sell from is number one, around here, which is between 147.798 and 148.065. Stop loss above. My bearish TP is all the way down here, which is 143.361. However, if price fails to go for that deeper pullback and continues trading lower, then I'll wait for price to break below 146.397. I'll catch it on the pullback. Stop loss above 146.623, and TP remains the same. All right, for whatever crazy reason, if price takes off on USD JPY, then I'll only be interested to buy above 148.741 based on analysis. Okay, so that is that on USD JPY. The next on my list is GBP JPY. GBP JPY is still kind of confused right now, so I'll still maintain last week's analysis. I would like to wait for price to, I'll only sell below here, which is 197.909. I'll catch it on the pullback if price breaks below it. Stop loss above 198.028, and TP will be all the way down, just like on USD JPY. But in this case, GBP JPY sell take profit will be 194.818. So if for whatever crazy reason price decides to break above this red line here, which is what 200.046, I would like to catch it on the pullback. Stop loss below 199.368, and bullish target is 206.092. I've done a deeper analysis on GBP JPY. You can look at our previous videos to look at the deeper analysis. Price is just ranging, so that's why I didn't go into details today. Okay, so the last on my list real quick is BTC USD. BTC USD, I'll just be pretty much straightforward. So I expect BTC USD to take off from where it is right now. Price previously on the weekly time frame created a high here, a higher low, then went on to create a new higher high. So I'm expecting to see price bounce off my first buy area and continue higher. So on the lower time frames, okay, let me even show you the lower time frame. But first of all, my bullish target is 119.436, or let me say 199.436.90. okay, but on the lower time frame, to enter this conservatively on the 4-hour time frame, I have a trend line. You can see how price is bouncing off from that weekly zone. So I'd like to advise that you should be patient for price to break above 113.122, sorry, 113.122.32. Catch it on the pullback. Stop loss below 112.274.16. Then trade into that bullish target I just quoted earlier. Okay, so two things can happen. Price could decide to come back and bounce off the third touch of this trend line before also taking off. So you can, those are the two buy areas on BTC. So that is that for today's analysis. Thanks for staying to the end. Once again, the link to the signal is in the description of this video down below, and also in the pinned comments down below. All right, the registration for the signals ends this week. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. I wish you a successful trading week, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.